pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Hello race fans and welcome to the Rockingham Speedway. Here we are live with the Extreme Motorsports Elite Entertainment ARCA Series. We've got 140 laps at one of the toughest mile ovals in the country ahead of us. Just a minute left to practice here. My name is Liam Irvig, being joined up in the booth by Matt Metler. Matt, how you doing so far?
Should be nothing short of high impact action out there on the racetrack tonight. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, we'll be doing some rocking for sure here at the Rock. Had to make that little pun there, but
oh yeah,
as practice wraps up here, we've got 10 minutes, 2 laps of qualifying. As we see the ticker on the top kind of scrolling through, it looks like Bass is your quickest. Shane Wolf only 2/1000ths of a second right behind him.
Yeah, right now, looking at the practice speeds, how about these guys, huh? Seeing the best lap on the board so far. Looks to be a 28.982. Oh, I'm sorry, a 24.075. My scoring just updated. I was going to say, that seemed a little slow, but hey, anytime you're in the low 24 second lap times here at the Rock, that means you got your car hooked up. It's working good. But this is the ARCA car, which you know where I'm going with this. This is going to test all phases of man and machine tonight. Is your car going to be built enough to withstand the punishment you're going to put it through over the course of the run tonight? Is the driver going to be able to keep up with the race car, the racetrack, and keep his cool and be around at the end tonight? That's what we're going to find out when this thing's all said and done. I'm looking forward to some qualifying, man. How about you?
Oh yeah, me too. We got James Shane Wolf, the first driver to put down or to take the green flag, rather, to start his lap, rocking that Happy Halloween #1 bullet forward. We'll see what he can put down as the first time of this qualifying session. His other drives like Michael Thwaite, Clayton Hack, Brandon Bass, and Wesley Jeanette are on the racetrack as well. Shane Wolf with a 24:33.
Yeah, Shane Wolf, he's starting things off with a 24:33. Hey, that might keep him up there at the top of the pylon there for, inside the top 5 on the leaderboard there for a little bit. Looking at drivers like GT Hawkins and some of these other names, GT's been on a roll. Look for him to start near the front tonight. Looks like so far the bump has been given. James Shane Wolf jumps to the top of the qualifying leaderboard at a 24:209. Clayton Hack almost bumped him, just coming in a couple thousandths of a second quicker at a 24:450. Wesley jumps, or Jackrabbits, Sean on the racetrack, the 74 machine, now occupying P number 2 at a 24:245.
Clayton Hack comes across. He's not quite able to improve his time right now, but less than 1/10 separating, almost half a tenth separates first through fifth right now, so that just goes to show how competitive this field is going to be today. Only about half of the drivers have come out, made a qualifying lap. Now we see Jeremy Horn, your winner at Atlanta, coming around, getting sideways through turns 1 and 2 on his first lap. Or that was right.
That just means his car's driving good. That just means he's happy with that car. That's going to be a fast race car. You watch tonight. When you let that back of that ARCA car step out like that, you're going to be hooked up for the long run. I'm telling you, it's going to be fast car tonight. It's driving good.
Oh, and a wall scrape on the second lap is probably going to do it in for his attempt here.
Yeah, a little wall tap there. Yeah, a wall tap certainly not going to be the preferred way around the racetrack, specifically a qualifying trim. But other forms of racing, especially drift competitions, that can get you some bonus points. It's not going to help you here in ARCA qualifying trim, unfortunately.
Oh, so Jeremy Horn is going to sit with a 7th place right now. Randy Kruder goes to the top of the board with a 24:16.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming. The 80 goes ahead and just pulls up a howitzer on the qualifying board at a 24. I'm showing a 24:156. If you look down through the first top 6, 7 drivers, look how close those times are together. I mean, you have 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, all in the 24 dot, second bracket times there. And when you're changing the very last digit in the time, so that's going to be the 3rd digit. I mean, that's thousandths of a second there. That's how tight and how competitive these drivers are out here on the racetrack today.
We see Ed Morris out here trying to put down a fast lap. His first lap is a 24:62. Looking to improve this second time around. That one only good enough for 11th. But gets himself a nice run at the exit at turn number 2. Nice and clean down the back straightaway. We'll see how he rocks 3 and 4.
He got a good entry into 3 and 4 that time. I think he's going to be able to pick up his time over his practice.
Oh, no, he's going to get sideways and spin it out.
Oh, he tried to. I've done that. I've made that mistake. When, this Rockingham, when you miss it a little bit in 1 and 2, and you get that really good entry into 3, you naturally just want to pick up the gas a little bit, and if you go over that line on the loud pedal, that's exactly what's going to happen. I've made that mistake many times, but hey, that's why it's qualifying. You still get to reset, and you get to run the distance tonight. But certainly he wanted more up from that qualifying lap. I thought he was going to be able to put down a halfway decent lap. He got on the loud pedal a little too soon. Found himself parked at the inside retaining wall there, coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the tracks, in my opinion, that's the easiest to catch you off guard coming up on these corner exits. He'll jump out at you, and when you think you're at your slip angle, you'll actually be a little bit further past it. Might find yourself headed towards the wall, but pretty good car control out of Morris there to keep it off the wall for the most part up until the end. But now we're watching Drew Trader put down his first qualifying lap. GT Hawkins has also just gotten down onto the racetrack. Some of these guys opting to wait just a little bit after to see how qualifying shakes up before they put down their laps.
Yeah, some of these drivers just might wait for some rubber to get put down on the racetrack and kind of see where the times lie before they go out. Seeing a little bit of strategy potentially out of GT Hawkins and some other names out here right now. 14 machine, he's got the Glory Police, that looks like the Glory PD on the side of the car tonight, sponsoring that vehicle. The matte black and red paint scheme, I'm liking it.
I think it says Glory Polco.
Glory Polco, thank you.
He's going to go down 24:38 to finish off his second lap. So now all but 2 drivers have qualified. That's Justin Anasajak and Corey Dar. 15 out of 17 have put down a qualifying lap so far. And, well, there's no on-track activity. It's a good time to go and check out our race info throughout the course of the day. The Elite Entertainment ARCA Series, round number 4 at Rockingham Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina, USA. We are just about 440 feet up above sea level, so not sure if that'll make much of a difference. Not much for a breeze, partly cloudy, 74 degrees. The track temp is 87 right now, and that could create for a little bit more slick of a surface.
Yeah, that could be why we saw some of these drivers having a little bit of a hard time with the grip, especially coming out of 3 and 4. That sun's out over the racetrack right now, and that 87-degree temperature may have heated things up just a little bit. Some of these drivers weren't ready for it and tried to back up their practice time and just wasn't there. I bet you that's what happened with a few of these drivers. I seen the 14 getting back to qualifying real quick. He gave the wall a little love tap, which is probably why he didn't back up his practice time. But weather's looking great here for some action, old school style. You know, we got Rockingham, you know, all the headlines going to North Wilkesboro. I think the Rock's going to follow suit. I think we're going to see NASCAR going back to its roots more at this track. So glad the series decided to run this racetrack. One of the forgotten gold mines, in my opinion. But we're going to give you guys a taste of it here tonight as this ARCA car is getting ready to do business right here in Rockingham, North Carolina this evening.
Yeah, just under 2 minutes away from gridding. So if any drivers wanted to try to make a last-ditch qualifying effort, talking about those last 2, this would be the chance for them. But Randy Kruder sitting on the pole right now with a 24:16, almost half a tenth quicker than that second place James Shanewell.
Yeah, half a tenth doesn't seem like a lot, but in lap times, that's a ton. Specifically when you look at how tight the first 3, 4, 5 cars are. He's the only guy that's in the 24 second bracket. You know, everyone else is pretty much stacked right on top of each other. I mean, if you put that into perspective at the start-finish line, you're talking maybe just a fraction of a couple inches, you know, the width of the, you know, the front fascia on the race car.
Yeah, definitely not a lot of distance coming back around with all of these guys. If they were to run that very same lap, like if we had the Fox Ghost car thing, I mean, there probably wouldn't be much more of a car length of a difference between 1st through 7th. So, I mean, these guys are insanely fast and insanely competitive with each other, and well, I think that's just going to create for an insanely good 140 laps. However, a couple quick things to mention before we get going. No fast repairs here, and these cars are, well, I mean, they're not the most structurally sound things, so, I mean, we could see some impacts take drivers out of this race, and only 4 sets of tires, 3 in the pits, plus what you got on your car when you start up here. I believe we got 75% fuel, so we should only have to make 1 pit stop for fuel at least, but all of that is just going to create different strategies throughout the course of this race, and like you mentioned, these cars are so much fun. It's so easy to slide around in them, and it's kind of easy to overdo it a little bit in this car.
Yeah, absolutely is. It gives you kind of a false sense of security at sometimes, and you have to be very disciplined as a race car driver to not translate that into getting more aggressive on the corner entries and on the brakes and transitioning harder from the brake to the throttle. Otherwise, it will make you pay dearly. So look for the drivers to be focused, disciplined, look for the spotters and the crew chiefs to remind their drivers constantly over the course of tonight to be patient, race the racetrack, take what the track gives you, be around at the end when it counts.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's take a moment to go through your starting grid now. We've had it rolling through on the top side, but we've got Randy Kruder starting on the pole, James Shainwolf, Michael Larch, Wesley Jeanette, Sean Corcoran, Clayton Hack, Michael Thwaites, Adam Capps, GT Hawkins, and Drew Trader rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, we got the top 10. Let's bring them through the rest of the field. Starting in position 11, the 81 machine of Jeremy Horn. 27 of Brandon Bass occupying the 12th position. 13th, Dean. I'm not gonna attempt that last name. I apologize, but Dean starting position number 13. The 5 of Edward Morris Sr. In 15th position, rolling off tonight. The 67 of Bobby Doyen. 17th, the 88th is going to be 16th. Justin Adisak. And the 17th place machine right now, the 45 of Corey Darr, certainly last but not least.
Well, these guys are getting ready here for 140 laps at what I really think is one of the toughest tracks in all of NASCAR. Unsure about
something else I want to point out real quick
there,
before we go green. I notice here, Adisak and Darr did not put up a lap in qualifying. I think that's a strategy play. Those guys are usually a little bit better than 16th and 17th spots, so look for them to move through the field here over the course of the race tonight. They're certainly not going to be spending a lot of time back there. You can count on them to be one of the biggest movers of the race at the end, as long as everything goes according to plan for them.
We apologize for the scoring issue there, where it's showing a countdown from 3 hours. That is the time allotted for this session, but it's only a 140-lap race. Oh, there we go. It popped up.
Well, he's fixing the scoring. Here we go. We're going back to green flag racing out here on the racetrack. Randy Kruder had the button. He won it in qualifying, and he took no time getting hard on the gas pedal, puts it to the floor, squirts out to an early lead right now. Currently 80 occupying position number 1 as the number 1 trying to take P1 right now from Randy Kruder.
Absolutely. James Shainwolf able to take that lead the first lap. Randy Kruder now defending from second. He's got Wesley Jeanette and Clayton Hack all over the back of Jeanette in that 22. There's Michael Larch as the 22 scrapes the wall coming up off of turn number 2. Just got a little bit sideways and got that back bumper into it. No harm, no foul, though. He's going to keep on going, doesn't lose a spot.
43, he got up there, too, gave the wall a lick. Just a nice little gentle love tap, just indicative of almost in the same spot he did in qualifying as well. These drivers getting that false sense of security. But how about we jump back right now to 7th position, the man on the move, T. Hawkins. He has wasted no time, and he's making that top side come alive a lot sooner than I anticipated. Look at that car wheel coming out of the corner. That man is on the gas pedal. That Toyota Camry is swerving and swerving, but it is fast.
Yeah, we missed it there. Try to take a look to see what happened there to James Shainwolf. Apologize there for...
Yeah, James Shainwolf there, your number 2 starter. He is dropping back in a hurry. Currently being shown a 1.359 seconds off the pace in 6th position. Maybe he just thought maybe everyone was racing a little too hard at the start of the race and didn't want to get involved in any extracurricular activities, if you know what I mean.
That very well could have been the case. Here comes GT Hawkins getting himself all
he's
the
in
way
the
up
wall.
to 3rd.
As Hawkins comes up to 3rd, Shainwolf just not happy with that race car right now. He has been in the wall 2 or 3 different times, just about loses it, bumping it off the top shelf again. Does he got a tire going down? Something seems to be amiss with the 1 car. I'm going to keep my eye on this while you take us back up front.
Yeah, GT Hawkins is sitting in 2nd place, just under a second behind Randy Kruder right now. And trying to get absolutely everything he can out of these early laps. These guys are almost 3 wide right behind him. As Wesley Jeanette tried to figure out a way around Clayton Hack, and Michael Larch trying to figure out which lane is going to move quicker. And now Larch looks to the top side, now crosses him over, looking down to the bottom, coming through turn 4.
Yeah, he crosses him over, turning it down to the bottom. But how about GT Hawkins? He's got that Toyota Camry. He looks like he's got about 50, 60 more horsepower than everyone else there on the racetrack. He has got that thing wound up on the high side. He is tail slapping it on the exit of every corner. I think he's going to lose it. But that man grabs, wrestles that steering wheel, gets it under control as he sets his sight now on the 80. He has wasted no time climbing from the number 9 starting position. The Rocket, Hawkins, is now in P2. I can't believe it.
Yeah, this man is on a mission, has been working his way up through the field after starting in 9th position, sitting in 2nd place, chasing down our race leader, Randy Kruder. And, well, we've got ourselves a heck of a battle here with the 12, Michael Larch. Well, the 12 is Michael Thwaites, trying to get around the inside of Wesley Jeanette. We're 3 wide coming up off of turn number 2.
Oh, the 2 still thinking about taking it 3 wide. I wouldn't recommend that here at Rockingham, but then again, I don't race with these guys, and they're certainly better than me, but in my league, I wouldn't attempt that. Kind of thought about it a little bit, back out of the gas pedal. Probably a smart decision, as we're only working lap 10 of the race.
Yeah, smart decision this early on, indeed. As we said, working lap 10 out of 140. Still trying to get that deal figured out on the ticker. That's why it says a time limit, but some good battles going on and up in the top 5, though. Michael Thwaites and Wesley Jeanette still trying to sort this one out. Thwaites is going to be able to clear this time.
Yeah, he's going to be able to clear, but barely, and not for long, as the 1274 and the 2 are taking turns with who's the meat and the sandwich on this one. That's where the most of the racing action seems to be on the racetrack right now, between the 4th and 7th place machines right now. Look at the 2 turn it down to the bottom early, looking for the dive bomb on the 74. As his 12's got a mireful right now, that 2 machine.
Yeah, that 2 is all over the back bumper now. The 74 of Wesley Jeanette getting down into turn number 1. This is a really racy track. You're seeing guys sliding up the racetrack, kind of using up a lot on entry, getting them a nice wide exit, but we're also seeing that short way around work just as well.
Yeah, you're seeing that short way around work now, but that is murdering the back right rear tire. I can promise you that. That tire is going to get hot in a hurry, and when that right rear gets hot, that car is going to become a handful. So hopefully these guys just trying to get as many positions as they can early and try to settle down over the course of this run. I don't believe we have unlimited tires tonight, so tires may be a premium if they keep at this level of racing throughout the course of the run tonight.
No, sir, we do not have unlimited tires. We have 3 sets in the pits, along with the one that they started this race on. So tires will be something to keep an eye on if we do get a couple cautions throughout the course of this race. But Randy Kruder's got to be worried about that 14 coming all the way up through the field now without about a car length up off his back bumper.
Yeah, GT has certainly wasted no time setting his sights on the leader from his 9th place starting spot, and there it goes. He dives it down to the inside, going to beat him to the brink of the corner. Going to turn it down alongside him underneath, center off, picking up the loud pedal, and he should be able to complete the pass this time by.
Yeah, not a big fight there out of Randy Kruder coming into turn 3. Kruder going to try to cut it back down to limit the time lost here, but Hawkins is on rails right now. Seems to be sliding just a little bit less than everybody else is throughout the course of this race. I mean, nobody's perfect throughout this thing. Everybody's slipping and sliding all over this racetrack. But, well, just as I say that, it looks like Hawkins checks up just a little bit. Now the 80's going to have a chance to maybe take another look.
Yeah, I almost was going to say too much too soon for GT, because he was bobbing and weaving every lap. I was watching him put up those blistering laps on his march to the front. And I got to think he had to use up a little bit of his tires early. You see him bobbing, that tail just getting a little twitchy on corner exit. That 80 smartly let him go, and that's the discipline I was talking about at the start of this race. The 80 knew he was quicker. Instead of trying to race him for position and using his stuff up, smartly lets him go. Going to settle in second spot and just start getting into his rhythm. We'll see if he can run him back down as these laps wind on.
Yeah, we're working lap number 20 out of 140. So these laps are flying by, but still plenty of ways to go as we've got a little bit of a battle sitting outside the top 5. Michael Larch is able to catch up to the back of the 22 now, and we've got the 12, the 22, and the 2 all bumper to bumper here, getting down into turns 1, and the 12 is hit by the 22. That puts Michael Thwaites up in the wall. Doesn't seem to be too bad a damage, but the 22 just getting up in there, getting up under that back bumper, and got the 12 sideways.
Oh, he threw in a howitzer. I don't know if he meant to drive it in that deep or send that kind of a message this early on. Definitely probably didn't expect that. You bet he might have to come down pit road on the first pit stop and ask for a change of shorts, because that was not pleasant inside that race car. Probably very thankful he's not going to have to burn a fast repair early.
Well, these guys don't have any fast repairs in this league, so he's just got to kind of take what he's got and hope it's not going to be too much time to repair it in the pits here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my mistake. I've been kind of fortunate enough to catch a lot of this high-octane racing action we cover right here at SRM. And the last league I called, they had one fast repair. Well, take that out of the equation tonight. He didn't have one to burn. So trust me, fellas, if you guys are watching this live on the YouTube stream right now, first, we appreciate you being here. Second of all, if you haven't done so, smash that like button, ring that bell. Make sure you come home to us right here every night for all of your eSIM online racing needs right here at SRM. We got you covered. Taking a look here, the 12 continues to charge forward after that altercation he had, that near crash experience he had just a few laps ago. Seems to have got himself settled in, working the middle to the high side of the racetrack. And here he comes back. He fell off early. We thought it may have been a strategy play. Look who's coming back into the picture. The one of James Shane Wolf, your outside pole sitter. Oh, he's going to waste no time. Crank it way down to the bottom of the inside of the racetrack. That man is eating the goods right now. Going to clear the 12 corner off.
Yeah, what a nice move there by the one of James Shane Wolf. He got that position down early, picked up the gas, just slid it right up and said, I'm taking this spot.
Well, I guess now we kind of know why he decided to fall back like a rock early.
Well, I think he got loose coming up out of turn 4, and it's just been kind of moving slower, trying to get back.
12's coming down pit road. This has got to be an unscheduled pit stop as we're just 26 laps in. He comes to a halt, and I believe he did not disconnect. Disappeared from my screen there momentarily, but he is currently getting service on that race car. Probably going to take 4 tires, top it off with fuel while you're at it. Remember, you got enough gas here to make it, but that fuel does add weight to the back of the race car.
It sure does, as we see Randy Kruder being passed now by Michael Larch. Kruder hard into the wall coming up off of turn 2. We'll see if that's going to have any effect on how we can turn this car.
Oh, yeah, the way he peppered the wall, that's going to definitely have some negative aero effects on that vehicle, especially when those tires get old. So look for him to make some adjustments to the nose of that race car on his first pit stop, as you see how easily the 74 machine could close up on him after he's made contact with the wall.
Yeah, it sits about a car length and a half down the back straightaway, but that'll change getting down into the corner here. Seems like the 80 slides up just a little bit now, and the 74 is able to work his way down on the bottom. Doesn't seem to be gaining that much distance, but...
there you go. I think the 74 just might have been waiting to see if the 80 was going to have any issues after that contact. Didn't want to make a move and then have the 80 make a problem and get caught up in his business. But it looks like the 74 is definitely able to turn the car down to the bottom of the racetrack a lot better than the 80 at this point in time anyhow. I've been watching him the past few laps. He's totally committed to making the bottom of that racetrack work, which is the preferred way around here, as you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the bottom lane is going to be quicker for some of these times, but you're wearing out the tires. And well, now that 74 working the bottom side once again. We appreciate everybody tuning in live here on YouTube. Got Savage saying go Hawkins, and definitely want to give you guys a chance to shout out your favorite drivers. We'll give you and them a shout out as well. As look at the slide job there by the 74.
Oh, is that
huge move, and now here comes
oh.
Clayton Hack was coming up behind these guys. He almost took that wall down coming up out of 2, trying to take advantage of the pass that Wesley Jeanette was able to make on Randy Kruder.
And that's the other part of this racetrack. Just because you got to run like that doesn't mean you can use it every point in time. And thank God he pulled back on the trigger and didn't execute, because that might have been a 3-car wad up there. But smartly, 22 checks up. Now he's going to complete the pass and overtake the 80. Eaton on the bottom side of the racetrack once again. That seems to be the sweet spot for completing these passes. Coming out of turn 4 as he come down towards the start-finish line towards you.
And I will say we officially have a new biggest mover. GT Hawkins is up 8 spots, and I'm sure he would have passed more cars if he could have. But Justin Adesajak has come up from 16th place all the way up to 6th place. He's sitting 10 spots to the good from where he started. He is going nowhere but forward, and he's got to be liking how that car feels. Still 6 seconds off the race lead, but not totally far out of this thing. If a caution does come out, he's right back there.
Yeah, I mean, especially looking from where he came from, way, way in the back. One of the guys I was talking about earlier, I said, don't think Adesak's going to stay back there very long. He's been right on the same. He's been on the notebook with GT Hawkins, apparently. They heard me say that, and they decided, nope, we're going to charge to the front. Hawkins came back from 9th position. He's P1, currently enjoying just a little over a 2-second margin right now at this point in time. That's a big lead, especially from starting almost in the 10th position.
Yeah, you see Brandon Bass getting around these guys. He is not for position, but like you said, GT Hawkins, after working his way up through the field, sitting just about 2 seconds up on Michael Larch, but that gap hasn't really changed much since the two got up, and up into the wall goes GT Hawkins up in the race lead. That's going to slow him down massively.
Yeah, GT Hawkins definitely didn't want to do that and catch the wall there. That's going to slow him up just a little bit. You look at the interval, it didn't hurt him as much as I thought it was going to hurt him. He still almost has a 2-second lead, but indicative of those tires probably going away. That charge he made through the field is probably impacting the performance of that race car. You got to think just a little bit right now, probably screaming for a yellow as he wants to come down pit road and get 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods on that race car.
Well, we'll have to see. He's still able to gap Michael Larch, as Larch is now worried about the 74 of Wesley Jeanette. Jeanette has worked his way up, I wouldn't say through the field. We've seen him fall back a little bit through some of those earlier battles, but he's worked his way back up through the positions he's lost. He's currently sitting 1 spot up from where he started in 3rd, trying to take 2nd place away. But Michael Larch is working it tough on that top side. It's really going to be tough to complete that pass with that run you're seeing Michael Larch able to work coming up off of turns 2 and 4 there. Sorry.
Hey, no, I totally agree with you. I wouldn't be trying to complete that pass up there either. I just don't, I'll be honest, I don't have the cojones to do it right here at a track like Rockingham, especially with these many laps on the tires. So easy for the guy you're trying to overtake on the bottom side to slide up the track, and then you have pretty much nowhere to go at that point in time. But hey, again, like I said, these guys, they're professionals. They got to know a thing or two that we don't know. And a lot of times, how much stuff do we learn about these race cars from watching and getting the ability to call these races?
I would absolutely say I've become a better iRacer from watching drivers like these and situations like these. I mean, this is, I know I've mentioned it a couple of times already, but I think this is one of the toughest ovals you can race on this service. You've got super tight corners, uneven bumps throughout it. I mean, there's no perfect radius to this thing. You can almost run it anywhere, and you'll feel like you're doing it just as wrong as if you're running, you know, next to the wall or next to the white line. I feel like the transitions coming up off of these corners, especially getting up on the gas, they can catch you off guard so quick. You can lose that car in a heartbeat, and Well, if you do find yourself squirrely coming up off of 2 and you overcorrect, you hit that wall, I feel like you're very likely to climb it. So all sorts of different aspects just in my head why I don't have the cojones to do what these guys are doing. But absolutely, I learned things about...
Oh, the 14 as you're talking about that in the in just just overall racing experience there. The 14 once again decides to just tap the wall.
I don't know about a decision to tap the wall, but he definitely got up in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to undersell it just a little bit. Don't want to put too much emphasis on how many times he's decided to go up there and shake hands with the outside retaining wall. But then again, sometimes these cars, the way they're designed aerodynamically, if you sit there and you just tap it a little bit, you don't really dent in the nose of the race car or pound the fender in on the tire, it's not going to hurt it too bad. But then again, I mean, he's hit that wall at least 6 times since I've been watching him. He's going to want to definitely try to back off on that because that car is not going to last over the course of the run. He keeps that up.
One of the closest battles on track for the last 10 or so laps has continued to be Michael Arch and Wesley Jeanette. I just want to take a chance to look at this blimp view and watch these different lines that these guys are running. It's about a 3-car length gap right now. Larch enters in about a half a car length wider than the 74 of Jeanette, and it's actually going to help Jeanette gap him a little bit. I feel like we've seen this happen throughout the last 10 laps where 74 will get a little bit of a gap on Larch, and then Larch will get him back down, but I wonder if all that time on the bottom side is potentially getting to the tires, heating up the tires of the 2 a bit.
It's either that or they got the classic game of cat and mouse going on. The 2 letting the 74 get away a little bit, trying to get him to start driving out his front, driving in his rear view mirror just a little bit. And just when he thinks everything's all said and done, here comes the 2 again, lurking, sharking towards the bottom of the racetrack, looking to make that time back up. Could just be seeing where he's faster as far as corner entry, corner exit as well. He could be, could be studying the 74. Sometimes some of these drivers not necessarily going to give that away in driver interviews or put that type of knowledge out there openly. But sometimes you look and while you see a guy kind of surging forward and backward over the course of a few laps, they're just studying, seeing where that other car's better so they know where to beat him later on.
Absolutely. The other fastest or closest battle on the racetrack right now, Ed Moore is trying to work over Sean Corcoran for 11th place. Moves his way to the inside of that 43 STP Filters Chevy SS, and now the 5 Chevy SS. Prime time, number 5 is back up into 11th, now trying to chase down Adam Capps. That was a pass that Ed had been working on for the last 4 or 5 laps, just trying to figure out how to set up that 43. Finally got his way in there, got the nose in, and was able to complete that pass through the corner, slide up. James Shainwolf coming into the pits as he tried to make it a 3 or a 2 stopper.
Yeah, he absolutely is trying to throw his hat in the ring, and why not? Yeah, the nighttime is the right time for prime time, and that's what all you guys are here for out in the YouTube chat. We appreciate you guys once again showing up, cheering on your favorite drivers. Again, smash that like button, ring that bell. Make sure you're staying notified and on top of everything we have racing related going on right here for you guys at SRM. And I like what the 5 car is doing. You mentioned he took his time setting that pass up, but that's going to keep that race car clean. I don't see any marks, imperfections on that 5 car as he continues to make his way around the racetrack. That's the type of guy right there that knows how to take care of his equipment. That's the experience we're looking for, and I think that's going to translate into either a strong finish tonight or potentially a win. You go out there, you can run fast laps, but the rock will bite you if you are not patient and diligent, and we're going to see that unfold at some point in time tonight, just not sure as when, but I guarantee you it will happen at some point.
Adam Capps slowed massively through turn 2 to give the spot up to the 5, and now it looks like Adam Capps is coming into the pits. Jeremy Horn, Bobby Doyen, and Dean Gagliano coming in these last times around as well. So definitely a lot of these guys are throwing their name into the hat for a 3-stop strategy here, or 2-stop strategy, a 3 set of tires strategy.
Yep, you might as well have put a flyer on the Goodyear blimp as these guys are coming down pit road now screaming, hey, we're on a 2-stop strategy. But kind of, and you sit there and you break down this race beforehand, looking at the amount of fuel and the lap fall off, you would kind of think a 2-stop race would get you to the end. Now, we're not even talking about overtime yet. You know what happens the last couple times you and I have been in the booth with overtime. But I want to take it back to the 5 car. He took his time setting up that pass, and now he is just kicked on the afterburners, and he is taking off, making up a ton of time using the bottom side of the racetrack. He is getting around here right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we were listening to you there. GT Hawkins scraped the wall once again, going through turns 1 and 2. He's trying to get absolutely everything he can on that top side to straighten out his exit, get the most speed. It's been working for him so far, but how many hits can that car take up against that wall? I mean, it doesn't look to be major contact. It's more just dragging on there, but can't feel good if you're in the 14 to have numerous shots to the wall like that. But
well, yeah, we're gonna figure out how many hits does it take, just like how many licks does it take to get to a center of a Tootsie Pop.
Well, hopefully we don't find that out. GT has been working a phenomenal race so far, and we're gonna see a lot of these guys with scrapes up on the right side. I think most any given driver is going to have at least 1 or 2 dents up on the right side by the end of this thing. James Shanewolf has crashed and sent himself back to the pits.
Oh, the one machine showing the Halloween colors. He's got some heavy driver side damage, specifically right around the tire housing area of that race car. No fast repairs. That's going to be a couple minutes there in the penalty box. I know he might not be specifically serving a penalty, but he's probably feeling like it right now as he's stuck there waiting on repairs to his race car.
Yeah, we'll take a look, see what happened as Michael Larch and Drew Trader also come into the pits. Looks like going through turns 3 and 4. Oh, just gets sideways, steps out from under him, and oh no! Oh my goodness, a hard hit into that tire barrier. Luckily for the rest of these guys that he didn't get bounced back onto the track in front of traffic or to bring out a yellow, but mostly lucky for these guys that he didn't end up getting launched back onto the track and creating more problems for these guys. But a huge hit on the tire barrier for the one of James Shanewolf, and now he is
yeah, I'm surprised. I thought for sure
trouble there if he's going to get that car back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, I think it's in being able to maintain just a minimum speed out there. The way that car was smoking, it looked like he had some radiator damage too. I think he's going to be off the pace, especially as far as the power production goes on that race car. And that's important, getting off the corner here at the Rock.
Here comes GT Hawkins in on lap number 60. The final driver to make a pit stop here. Well, Ed Morris also yet to make a pit stop. He's going to actually take the lead here, lead some laps.
Yeah, well, Ed Morris is going to set sail in that 5 car who turned it on late, being patient in the opening laps. The Rocket, GT Hawkins, going to come down pit road, stopping his pit stall. Guys are going to come over.
Had a huge slide coming up off of turn number 2 there. It looks like he's going to... it looks like he was going to bring it in, but...
I thought he was too. Maybe he missed it there on pit entry. That can sneak up on you in a hurry. GT Hawkins says, damage, no problem. I got this. Give me 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods. I'm sending it out on the racetrack as he's currently trying to do battle with, someone in the wall as GT was coming back up to speed.
27, Brandon Bass. It looks like his teammate in the 80 is getting around him. That's not for position. Randy Kruder is sitting in 4th place, just a second and a half behind GT Hawkins now. Justin Anasajak is sitting in 2nd place. He's already come to the pits. He pit on lap 52, 7 laps before GT Hawkins. So he is effectively a race leader after Ed Morris comes into the pits. But does Ed Morris try to make this on one stop? He's got 20 seconds over 2nd place.
Well, you know what? I was just going to say this could be why he was saving so much early on in this run. And even with as fast as GT Hawkins is right now, he is 21 seconds ahead of him out on the racetrack. And this lap times are somewhere in the 24 to 25 second range right now. So he has almost a 1 lap advantage to make up that type of time on the racetrack. GT is going to use up a ton of his stuff, especially if this thing stays green. That could be the winning strategy right there if this race stays green.
And that is the biggest question about it. If this race stays green, I mean, it's 16 seconds now back to GT, and I think if you're trying to split it here, you're not going more than 4 or 5 more laps here. You might even try getting straight 270, putting it as a total split. But you're going to have to try to guess. There's a lot of guesswork based on how much time these guys are going to gain on you now with their fresher tires, how much time you're going to gain back on your fresher tires, and where does that equate when they all make a pit stop? Because you both are in a position now where you've got a 13-second, it's dwindling, but a 13-second lead, and you all have to make another pit stop.
That's exactly it. And the big turn of the tides, the question of the hour right now is if we get a caution, because we're talking about all the scenario playing right now, and that's indicative of it stays green. The minute we get a caution on the racetrack, the whole tire complexion of this race changes in an instant. But hey, Edwards still has one more set of tires in the bank than everyone else out on the racetrack right now.
Yes, he does. And I got to say, he might be in a pretty good spot if the caution does come out now. Because if he gets this caution, he comes in and pits. There's 9 drivers on a lead lap right now. If nobody else pits, he's got about 15 lap fresher tires than most everybody, about 8 lap fresher tires than GT Hawkins.
But GT just got in the wall pretty hard right there. I seen some smoke coming off the concrete as he made contact with the wall very early into the corner before he got into the safer barrier. So that's definitely going to leave a mark.
GT able to get himself into second past the 88 of Justin. Didn't seem like much trouble making that happen. Now he's got nobody in between him and Ed Morris. Just 7.5 seconds. Well, maybe a lapped car up in there, but...
So
Ed
2
Morris.
laps in a row, not to cut you off, 2 laps in a row, T has kissed the wall in the same exact spot of the racetrack. And he's not hit, I mean, not that you want to bounce the car off the wall, but I mean, if that's something that does happen, that's not the spot you want to hit the car against the wall either. It's right before the safer barrier starts. As you're entering the corner, he's just getting up there in the loose stuff on the high side, indicative of how much speed he's carrying. Now we're seeing GT change the lineup. He went to the bottom of the racetrack. Going to see if that continues to follow suit or if he's going to continue to stay high on the top side of the racetrack, which he is back to the top side as he's going to try and overtake this lap vehicle here, the 67, as he gets in the wall again.
Just a little bit of a scrape with that back end. Nothing major there. I don't even think that caused any sparks.
Now, that was definitely the lightest of
Here
the
comes
3
Ed Morris into the
consecutive.
pits from the race lead, completing 70 laps this time, and he's going to have 70 laps to go. Can Ed Morris make it happen on one stop? Now, he's going to be about 10 laps fresher tires than GT Hawkins, your race leader. 18 or so lap fresher tires than second place. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of gains can be made out of that 5 rather. As we see the 14 getting right up next to that wall through turns 1 and 2, leading the race now by just about 3 seconds.
Well, certainly someone give the 5 the award of the race for getting the most out of your tires. That was an impressive run by the 5 machine, making those tires hold on that long. And, you know, by the time he comes off a pit road, gets up to speed here, for all intents and purposes, he may have an advantage on tires over most of these guys on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I said, it's about 11 laps fresher than GT Hawkins. And some of the early guys to pit, Jeremy Horn was one of the first guys to come in. He's going to have 20 lap fresher tires than him. So could be quite the advantage for some of these guys that he's going to have to pass. But if you're committed to this one-stop strategy, you are now hoping that this goes caution-free until at least everybody else makes a pit stop.
Exactly right. And Ed Morris Sr. needs to do, again, what he did at the start of this race and be patient. Take your time. I know he's 1 lap down right now, and his car is going to be feeling really, really good. And he's going to be catching these competitors in a hurry. But he needs to reserve himself. He needs to just take his time in order to make this strategy play and work out. He's got to potentially get another 50 laps out of these tires again, if not more.
Oh, yeah. If this goes caution-free, he's got to do the exact same thing again. And, yeah, I mean, we saw how much he was struggling at the end of that stint. how much slower he was on his 70-lap-old tires. This is a big ask out of the 5 of Ed Morris, but
very tall order.
If anyone can do it, it's him, because he's the only one who's committed to try.
Well, I was going to say, if anyone can, Primetime can, and he's got a little bit of that on the side of his vehicle tonight. As he's going by right now, the camera slot, I got a big Primetime in black, bold letters on the vehicle. Could be making a statement here, telling everyone something on the racetrack. You know, I may not be the fastest guy out here, but I got the best strategy. And if it comes full circle, yeah.
Sorry about that. Seems like we had a little bit of a technical difficulty with the microphone with Matt there, but here's Wesley
yeah, I
Jeanette.
just lost all cars on the racetrack there. Looks like the iRacing server just puked all over him.
That's all right. We can we'll let you get that figured out here as Randy Kruder is doing everything he can to try to keep Wesley Jeanette behind him. Randy Kruder out of the Chevy camp in that. Well, it looks like we're looking at Sean Corcoran right now. There's Randy Kruder. He's out of Johnstown, Ohio. The Extreme Motorsports Chevrolet SS. Been kind of working his way up through this field, you know, chilling in the top 5 all race after starting on the pole. He's sitting in 3rd place right now, but Wesley Jeanette all over that back bumper, or getting closer and closer, trying to get to that back bumper and force a mistake. Meanwhile, Michael Larch is right behind these guys as well, just waiting for them to get side by side, start slowing down. The 88 of Anasajak is just in front of these guys by about half a second as well, so we're getting ready to see a pretty intense battle for second shape up, as GT Hawkins has just driven away from these guys. He's got 8.5 second lead over second place, and remind you, second place has about 7 lap older tires than Hawkins, so that last time around, that accounted for 0.6 of a second. Meanwhile, Ed Morris, he's not really putting down blazing fast laps. He's about 1/10 quicker than your leader every time, but we'll keep an eye on him, being the only one to go 70 laps on his tank, and with just under 60 laps to go. Got Michael Larch getting around the 74 of Wesley Jeanette. Randy Kruder trying to figure out how to set up the 88, getting down into turn number 1. It's 3 car lengths now. Had a look at the 2, trying to get a run coming up off of turn number 2. He's going to shorten that gap, tries a top lane going into 3. Gets up on the gas, gets himself a nice run up on the exit of 4, looks down to the bottom. Down to the door, getting into turn 1, and the 80 pushes it in deep. So does the 2. Larch trying to complete this slide job, and Randy Kruder has no choice but to let him go, and now Wesley Jeanette going to try to take advantage of this. Meanwhile, if you're the 88, you're loving this, because this lets you hold on to this spot just a little bit longer, and it definitely helps you if there's a caution coming. But Michael Larch with a nice run coming up off the top side now. A huge run, gets within a car length, gets to the bumper, is now on the inside of the 88. Michael Larch out here making it look easy, making 3 passes in 4 laps. And here comes Clayton Hack trying to get up to the back of this battle. He sees 4 positions right in front of him that he can work over. As now Kruder is getting passed by the 74 of Wesley Jeanette.
Yeah, Kruder is currently getting passed by the 74. Wesley Jeanette. Oh, a little bit of contact there on the racetrack.
Yeah, it looks like the 27, Brandon Bass, was trying to get out of the way, smacked the wall, and just held her on up there. But
yeah, Brandon Bass whacked the wall there a little bit on that one. Probably not what he was trying to do, but then again, just a byproduct of this hard, intense racing. When you're laying everything out on the gauntlet like you are on this track right now tonight, that wall's going to jump up there and bite you. This is indicative of how hard these guys are racing right now on the racetrack.
Absolutely. We saw Adam Capps come into the pits. Brandon Bass has come into the pits after that wall contact that we just saw going by us. Clayton Hack still trying to figure out how to work over the 80, and looks like he'll be able to get the job done this time. Randy Kruder is just struggling to get into turn 1, it would seem. Well, while we have a moment, let's go ahead and take you through the field here. Sponsored by Elite Entertainment Industries, the title sponsor of this ARCA series here. So we'll start with GT Hawkins out of Columbus, Ohio. Won the last two races. Won the last 2 races, going for 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's certainly the man on the mission right now. He's from Columbus, Ohio, and he is set sail out here once again tonight. Currently enjoying that almost an 11-second lead. As you said, let's bring him through the field. So the number 2 position currently occupied right now by Marco Larch. He's mired 10 seconds back, 74 of Wesley, currently in the 3rd position. 4th position is Justin Adisak. And number 5 right now, Clayton Hack.
As we see Hack actually just making that pass on Agnesock, yeah, but Randy Kruder sitting behind these guys, still trying to figure out a way behind or around the 88. That's been the pass he's been trying to make for the last 20 or so laps, but the other cars have been able to get through and get around him. And now he's back to square one. We got Drew Trader sitting right behind him out of Carlinville, rocking that 25 car. Looks like, is that Pick Skulls?
Oh my God. The 80 just about took out Adisak. He tried to get down underneath him, and the car just jumped up the racetrack. When he took the air off the nose, he went ahead and he just blistered the right front as he locked it up, but he stayed out of him. Oh my God, Adisak probably very thankful right now he did not come up into him, because at that angle, that car would have been around and could have potentially had our first caution on the racetrack.
As we just go back and take a look at it there, and that was definitely a close moment. Hard on the brakes for the 80 of Kruder, but excellent heads-up driving by him to not take out the 88. But that just puts him back further than he wants to be. Trying to figure out a way past that 88. That gap is now a 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, if that was me.
Closed down, though, is the one for 2nd place, as Wesley Jeanette is within 2 seconds of Michael Larch.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going back to that 88 incident on the racetrack. And if I'm driving the 80 car, I'm taking the 88 for a ride on the Carnival of Carnage. So great heads-up driving by the 80 machine of keeping off the 88. I'm sure he's very thankful that he kept the car off of him right now. He's probably going to have a little conversation about that after the race. Potentially a beer. They'll laugh about it later on. But that certainly could have been a lot worse of exchange out there, especially at the track like the Rock here in North Carolina. But how, as you were saying, how about Michael Larch in the 74 of Wesley? That's where the battle's starting to heat up on the racetrack right now, is for the number 2 position.
Yeah, you saw Michael Larch using up every inch of racetrack that he could that time around. And look at the 74 with a big send on the inside. He says, I don't want the bottom, I want the middle.
Oh,
he wasn't coming up off the corner, but these guys are still nose-to-nose coming up off.
Oh, that wasn't a big send. That's full send. Man, he sent that car in there. Look at him turning down towards the bottom, trying to get back on the loud pedal. The 2 is holding strong on the top side. He's going to get the advantage with the momentum off, being able to get onto the gas pedal just a little bit quicker. And here we go again. The 74 is not done. He is still knocking on the back door. It's not delivery. It's the 74 machine of Wesley Jeanette. He's not going to back down from this move. He's going for this pass. He wants the position.
Almost has it cleared, slides up the racetrack, but still a fender up on the top for the 2 of Larch. And Larch, with that outside momentum, is just hoping that in one of these couple of laps, that 74 is going to kill his tires enough as to where he gets set back behind him. But no, the 74 goes full send once again. Can Larch try the crossover?
Oh, Larch can't even attempt the crossover. What a late break. Oh, I haven't seen a move like that since back in the 90s. Watching the Winston Cup Series race here, when Jeff Gordon pulled off something similar. He drove that car so deep into the corner and got on the brakes, was able to keep it off the wall. It was able to carry so much momentum The 2 machine couldn't even try to counter. That was masterfully done. I bet you if he asks him to do it again, though, he's going to politely decline.
Yeah, that 74 had been sending it in pretty hard these last few corners, and this was the time he decided, I am taking this spot. I don't care what you got going on. I got second place now.
Yeah, it takes some.
Is the first to come into the pits. Sorry there.
Yeah, it's okay. It takes some really big lug nuts to send the car in that far into the corner and make it stick. What a masterful piece of driving. I'm going to be watching this race again back after this one's over and watch that move again. The 2, however, is not letting him get away by much. He's well than a bead on the back of that race car. 81 right now, using him as a pawn or a pick out there on the racetrack. He's trying to jump back into the ring, though. He's closing on the back of the 2 right now as we speak.
Yeah, he is. He's getting up a little closer.
We got
to spin down the back.
Yeah, car is stopped, parked, nose into the wall. This could be it right here. This could be our first caution, and there it is.
The race. So the caution has just come out for Bobby Doyen with a spin on the back straightaway. We saw him stopped up against the inside wall as everybody was going by. Let's go back and take a look, see what happened.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. I seen smoke, and in the bottom of my frame, I just happened to see the car nosed into the wall there.
Apologies there.
Everyone's taking the caution flag out there on the racetrack now as we wait to see what happened here on the replay.
Yeah, 67 just gets loose coming through turn 2, and we see that transition catch people off guard before, but the 67 tries to lock it up and not spin it, but this is, it's got a little bit of banking down the back straightaway. Not quite as much as Dover does, for example, but definitely will send you to the inside wall, some inside wall contact, and 67 doing everything he can to stay up off of the racetrack. Well, he gets it going, but gets it up onto the racetrack just a bit too much, and the yellow flag comes out. Meanwhile,
and here,
everybody's pitting.
Yep, here comes the parade down pit road. That's going to be the hot commodity right here at the racetrack right now. Is everyone, the 14 GT Hawkins leads the parade, coming around to their pit boxes. He's going to enter the pit box. Oh, a little bit of a miscue there on pit road entry. The 2 and the 14 almost made a little bit of contact, but they get into their boxes right now. GT Hawkins really good on getting in and off of pit road. You got the 14, the 2, and the 80 all currently getting service. And right now, the 14 is going to beat the 2 off of pit road. I'm sorry, the 74 is going to beat the 2 off of pit road, followed by the 22. I believe GT Hawkins is still going to retain the lead on pit road exit.
Yeah, he had a big enough gap getting up in there that he didn't really have anybody to race with. So GT Hawkins holds the race lead. Jeremy Horn is going to come into the pits this time, but Wesley Jeanette comes out in second. Michael Larch, then Clayton Hack, and Randy Kruder rounding out our top 5. Tough break for Ed Morris, though, who's got to come into pit this time. Unable to take the wave around here. And
you almost hate that for the 5 car, right? I mean, Prime Time was doing such a masterful job of just showing patience and taking his time and waiting for things to unfold on the racetrack. The one thing he didn't want to see unravel was a caution flag. And, we were 100 laps into it. I was starting to think maybe that was going to be the race-winning strategy. And we said it earlier, this changes everything. If you're the 5 car, what do you do now?
Well, you just got to hope they keep wrecking, man. You got to hope you can get some fast, or get the free pass a couple times. Maybe just the one time. He's only down 1 lap, and I believe Jeremy Horn is the free pass car, so Ed Morris should get it back on the next yellow. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. In my head, I was thinking maybe stay out here and try to hope for a wave around and a quick yellow, then you can pit. But obviously, the crew chief on the 5 car didn't feel that way. And
we're going to have to check scoring here real quick. I could be having another scoring delay, but I'm currently seeing Ed Morris Sr., the last car on the lead lap, occupying the 9th position. Oh, there he is. He's back to lap down again. So you're right. He should be next car eligible.
Yep, as the 81 and 43 actually take their laps back. So I wonder They were wave around
Mike-
cars, so.
Yeah, he may have been able to take it the wave around there and get back on the lead lap with the wave cars.
Yeah, I think that might have been his only other option here, but thinking about it, you're going to want to be on fresh tires here. You don't want to take this restart on 35 lap old tires because even if you are on the lead lap, you're just going to get eaten up and probably lapped real quick. So
Yeah, you're right. As good as that man is on old tires, as we've seen already throughout the course of this race, that's probably not the best play in the book right now. I agree with you 100%.
well, we've got a restart here, and you know what they say, cautions breed caution. So if you're that 5, you might be hoping for a little bit of something to get you that free pass. But GT Hawkins has got a little bit of something in that gas tank, gets him out a huge gap at the restart.
Oh, yeah,
Side for second.
Yeah, GT Hawkins, he knows how to full send it on the restarts of the race. He shot out there, looked like he had flames coming out the back of his car. He was just shooting out of a cannon so hard on that restart. But how about the 74, the 2, and the 22? These guys were looking to mix it up out here on the racetrack before the caution flag. And now we're back to green flag racing here at the Rock. These guys are picking up right where they left off. The 22 has got a bead on the 2. And the 74 is close. Wow, did you see so much action going on the racetrack? I don't even know where to go next.
Yeah, Michael Larch almost lost it coming up off of turn number 2. There's the 25, almost lost it in the middle of 4 there. But Drew Trader keeps his foot in it. The fastest lap of the race was just put down by GT Hawkins. The fastest sector 1 of the race was just put down by Drew Trader. These guys are absolutely on fire right now.
Oh, the 22 just buffed the outside wall there so hard he got the front up in the air a little bit. That's going to cause some damage. Hopefully he's not going to have an overheating issue on that race car, but he absolutely got into the wall pretty good there as he was working the last lap there, as he's kind of watching what's unfolding between the 2, the 22 and the 25 right now.
Yeah, and this is absolutely insane action as around goes the 22. No one keeps it straight. A bump. And around is going to go the 22. Spins it into the pit lane. I don't think that's going to bring out a caution, but a tough break for the 22 of Clayton Hack. We saw that happening right in front of us here. The 2 just got up into the back bumper of Clayton Hack, and
we're still green on the racetrack.
We are. Let's take a look to slow it down here, try to bring up the blimp cam so we can just see how this might have been the lap before.
Oh, yeah, he just gave the Twisted Sister car the business there. Knocked him sideways, a 45-degree angle, which is perfect for drifting, by the way. Right now we got a massive wreck retaliation. The 2 is helicoptering down the backstretch. That's definitely going to bring out the caution flag. Well, there you go. Well, as we like to say, business was served. I'm pretty sure that was an outcome of the byproduct from what we just seen just a couple laps ago as you were trying to queue up the replay. Front of that car is pretty well pancaked in. He's going to have to come down pit road. You at least get that nose fixed up on the race car at minimum, because that's going to be a pressure cooker, an overheating time bomb.
I don't know about retaliation here. As we come up off of turn number 2, we pull it up, had to rewind it just a touch more because this wreck took a moment to fully happen. But the 2 gets wide coming up off of turn 2, scrapes the wall, almost climbs it up a bit, and then the 25, I don't know if he hit him, but that 2 was probably sent to the inside wall anyways. But the 25 may have just gotten up under the bumper there to send it back sideways again.
Yeah, those 2 had gotten into it. They had a little beef, I think, going on the racetrack a couple laps before that, a similar issue. And I think when he came off the wall, you know what? Hey, we're not the ones in the race car. We're just calling what we see. Only they really know. But maybe we can get him in an interview after the race here, and we can get you guys the details on that one. Could have been just a racing deal out there on the racetrack, but the way he came off the wall, in my opinion, I think that was maybe assisted contact or, unincidental contact. But nonetheless, right now, the 2 is on pit road getting service to that torn up race car, or at least the nose of that race car. Hopefully it's not going to affect the performance too much as we come here down the stretch of the race.
Hey, I'm not sure. We sat up we sat in the onboard camera of Drew Trader, and it sounded like he tried to lift once he saw that there was not really a chance of avoiding that too. But either way, just a tough break. Michael Arch was so fast throughout the course of this race. We've seen him making passes, and some of them a little bit aggressive. Some of them were, pretty exciting as well. And just a tough break for him to have his day end this way. So we've got
And you're absolutely
25
right.
Laps to go.
Yep, so we got 25 laps to remain alive in this one. Does anyone have anything for the Hawk out front? GT Hawkins laying him down and, literally laying him down the last 3 races in a row now. He has been the man to beat. You go back to the start of the race. He started back in 9th. Not a problem. He just sent it full send on the high side, giving the wall a little love taps as he went along and was able to take the lead in no time. And he's basically kept that 14 machine out front and has not looked back.
Yeah, last week, we'll bring that up. GT Hawkins, he won himself the race. 140-lap race at the Milwaukee Mile. 116 of them were led by GT Hawkins. So he...
It's an impressive performance.
Absolutely. He expanded his point lead to 11 points. He's got 139 points. 11 back to Justin Anasajak, and then Jeremy Horn and Michael Large, Wesley Jeanette rounding out your top 5, Jeanette being 36 points back. Then we've got Alexander Brown, Ed Morris, Rick Christensen, Ed Morris Sr., Bobby Doyen, and James Shanewolf actually is in 11th there, but
yeah, the silver lining here, the silver lining with this caution flag here may be with prime time there in the 5 car. Does he get his lap back? Does he get back on the lead lap? And I believe he still has 1 set of tires in the bank over everyone else right now.
Well, it looks like we're doubling up here, so I think if he would have gotten the free pass, it would have happened already. So
yeah, he would have gotten it by now. You're correct.
So 25 laps to go right now, 24 laps at the restart. GT Hawkins has led most of this thing. Can anybody get up there and spoil his party? We see the 74 Wesley Jeanette trying to nose out up front. Drew Trader in the 25. The 80 of Ricky's out there as well. We're going to have ourselves a fantastic show here with 24 to go. The hard left turn by the pace car. And immediately on the gas is the GT Hawkins. Wesley Jeanette spun the tires, got squirrely there.
He got squirrely there on the restart, but he's still checked out on the rest of the guys, looking like he's got 50 to 60 more horsepower than he does every week, or at least as long I've been able to call this awesome series. The racing is just next level here each week in and week out. There's GT doing GT-like things, working back to the top side of the racetrack. Got a little bob and weave out of the 14, but hey, it's all good. Look at the gap he has opened up on the field already. Just 1 lap in the book after the restart.
It's already almost a second over Drew Trader, who is now in 2nd place over Wesley Jeanette. Randy Kruger still in 3rd. Jeremy Horn Randy Kruger in 4th, rather. Jeremy Horn in 5th position. Hawkins,
Jeremy Horn,
fastest on the track once again.
Yep, as the laps wind down, the intensity comes up. We're starting to see some of the fastest laps of the race. And GT Hawkins there just decided he's going to put on a clinic. If you want to know how to restart here in the ARCA series, that was textbook. You can't do it any better than that. Well done, 14 machine. Looking forward to talking to you here after the race. But how about the 25 machine, a Drew Trader? He's up there tonight all the way from the 10th starting position. And if you want to talk about starting deeper in the field, the 9th place machine, Hawkins, P1, 10th place machine, P2. These guys have taken it from about mid-pack and put it to the top of the totem pole. 74 machine, Wesley doing a really good job of holding right around his starting position. He's +1 of the good. Started P4, currently P3.
Hey, just lost P3 to Randy Kruger, your post hitter, trying to get back up to the front here. But the 74 of Wesley Jeanette not letting him get away. Still about a car length separating these two. There's Justin trying to make a pass up on the 81 here. Looks to the inside, getting down into turn 3, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any fight there. Jeremy Horn in the 81 falls back just a couple car lengths.
It falls back just a couple car lengths. No fight for now, but there will be a fight before it's over. Oh, look at the 22 swarming in there. He drove it deep into that one. Picking up the loud pedal early on exit. He is on the charge right now. Check out that 22.
Yeah, trying to get back to the back bumper of Right now it would be the 74. The 22 sitting a lap down. First car off the lead lap here, so.
Yeah, first car. He may be the first car off the lead lap, but he is certainly not driving like it. He is swarming all over the back of the 74 machine right now.
Yes, he is looking to make a pass on track here. Maybe trying to take his lap back the hard way if he can. Rocking right up next to the wall. Tries to get a nice run coming up on the top side of the 74, and Wesley ain't going to fight him too hard right now.
He's going to squirt the hot dog out of the bum, slipstream him on the top side. Overtake the 74. That's not for position, but he may be going after the lap back the hard way as he does a little tail slide, corner off.
GT Hawkins is out to about a 1.5-second lead as we're approaching 16 laps to go right now, 15 next time by. This has truly been the GT Hawkins show.
Yeah, it really has been the GT Hawkins show. I thought maybe he would have been off a little bit tonight just because we hadn't seen him start, that deep in the field for a long time, but we should have known better. Starting 9th, 19th, this man just wasted no time coming to the front. And you can tell he's putting down some fast laps because that man is wiggling just a little bit on corner exit, indicative of the opening laps of the race when he made that blistering march to the front of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. He might have gotten a touch loose there coming up off of turn 4. Made it just scrape the wall. Randy Kruder has found himself in second place. I believe Drew Trader has gotten the wall and is now sliding up in front of that 22. Unsure of what's gone on with that 25 car.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Second place driver.
Yeah, Trader, 25 machine right now, currently still in the third position right now. So as it sets right now, if the race would end at lap 127, Hawkins would steal the storyline again tonight. The 80 machine of Randy Kruder and the Trader machine piloted by Drew Trader, the 25 machine would be your podium finishers right now. But there is such tight action racing going on right now from about second to 5th place right now. That's where the Hornet's Nest is. There's only about a second gap between second place and 7th place and 5th place on the racetrack. That's where the action is.
Yeah, absolutely. Mix in a couple of lap cars, and we've got ourselves a fantastic show right in front of us. The battle for second heating up once again as 25 Drew Trader looks to the inside of Randy Kruder. Wesley Jeanette just trying to figure out where to go after this, and right behind him is the 88 of Justin Anasajak. Trying to figure out if he can maybe make his way up into the top 4.
Yeah,
Addison Conquerin is just behind that 22. He's trying to work his way up into this, maybe steal himself a top 5.
Yeah, everyone is on the prowl right now. They're just sitting there close, watching what everyone else is doing. While you're sitting there, let's say you're the 25 car and you're trying to size up the 80. You start to forget that 74 back there is lurching, looking for you to make a mistake. And there you go. There's Adesagak trying to throw his sock into the ring. Going to try to make a bomb pass diving down into the corner over the 74 machine. He's going to take it to the top side of the racetrack. There should be a little more grip up there, and you should be able to pick up the loud pedal just a little bit quicker. But the 88 does a masterful job driving center off the corner. They're still 2x2.
Meanwhile, all this is going on. We're 3 wide through turns 1 and 2, coming up off of turn 2 and hard into the wall. Big crash with the 74 and the 25.
Oh, that was...
Wesley Jeanette and Drew Trader take heavy hits. Drew Trader head on into the wall, and that launched the 74 up in the air, flipping.
Oh, he went space shuttle status, and that's impressive at a track like Rockingham. Just the way that he hooked the car, he went straight head on into the wall. I mean, I lost both vehicles on my screen. I think we had 2 cars go space shuttle status. I haven't seen that happen at the Rock in a very long time. Oh my God, just horrific turn of events here for these guys. Byproduct of such great racing, though, on the racetrack. And when you race that hard for this many laps, mistakes are going to be made regardless of how good these guys are. And unfortunately, that's going to take 2 competitors out of the race early and just...
Yeah, we're gonna break this down here. The 74 is coming down the track trying to arc his lane. Maybe he doesn't know that they're 3 wide and just hooks into the back of the 25. And when the 25 bounces up off the wall, it launches him up in the air. The 22 actually has nowhere to go. Same with the 43. Nowhere to go but straight into the back of the 25. And, man, these guys are just doing everything they can. Absolutely.
Yeah, talk about tasting someone's rear end gear for lunch. I know that was unintentional, but, man, that was just a couple hard consecutive impacts there for these guys out here on the racetrack. Certainly, they're going to be upset, especially when they watch the replay back. I think a little more room could have been given. But then again, you know, the time right now is go. The laps are winding down almost under 10 lap, or just about the 10 lap to go mark by the time we get back here to green flag racing out here on the racetrack. But my God, that was some of the most intense racing I have seen in a long time. You know, you just hate it for those drivers, but sometimes, hey, that's the byproduct of hard racing, especially right here at the Rock.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. I know a right hook doesn't look good in any stretch of the means, and obviously in the NASCAR community, there's been some talk about that, but I don't think that was egregious by any stretch of the means. I just think they were racing hard, and the stakes just kept rising. You know, we're getting closer to the end, as I mentioned right before that happened. We're hitting 10 laps to go this time, and you know, you've got 4 potential spots you can gain in front of you if you're the 43 Corcoran. You're just waiting for a mistake out of one of these guys to set you in the right spot, and unfortunately, it was a 3-wide mistake by the driver right in front of that 43 that gets him caught up in it. But I don't think that was anything egregious. I think it was just hard racing. Everybody tried to take second place just because it was right in front of them, and there was only 9 or 10 laps to go.
I couldn't agree more. And as ugly as that looked, especially if you were coming in late to the stream and, you know, seeing that right hook, it may have looked intentional, but it certainly wasn't. These guys were duking it out on the race.
Sorry. I can't speculate one way, so I can't speculate the other.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying. I totally agree with what you're saying too. I just, you know, with the level of racing, these guys were, you know, throwing the chess pieces out there on the racetrack. You know, he made a decision to take it 3 wide. Maybe he thought he saw something there. The door closed faster than he could execute, and he gets hooked in the right rear, which was unintentional in my opinion. I don't think he meant to do that. And you know, sometimes you said it best, hard racing, sometimes just one of those racing deals, as ugly as it looks out on the racetrack, sometimes can take a couple cars attrition. And unfortunately, that's what's happened here tonight. But hey, we're not done yet. The lights are out on that pace car. That's going to give us, what, about 10 to go?
No, we're going to have 5 to go on this restart. And 88, Justin Anastajak stays out. And I apologize if I've been butchering that name, but if there's anybody in the comments who wants to help me out with pronunciation,
I believe it's either Adisagak or Adisak. I'm going to go with Adisagak.
Adisagak. Well, either way, he's the race leader right now. He's got GT Hawkins with fresh tires hot on his tail. Does this shake up the way that this thing ends? We've got 5 laps to go, and green flag is out. An early start for the 88. He knows he has to try to have a chance at that 14. But he's got to hope they get side by side behind him. And look at that 14 pushing it down into turn number 1, already within half a car length. Look at the bottom side.
Oh, yeah, that 14 is welded onto the back bumper of Adisagak right now. The 88 tried to get the quick jump on the restart. I thought maybe Race Control was going to question the restart, but they deem it legal. 14 machine of AJ or GT Hawkins wasting no time, getting up, going to come up, door check him a little bit. Oh, they're touching through the corner, but they manage to keep it off the wall. Adisagak, brilliant, driving out, hanging tough on the outside. He's not going to give. He's just not going to roll over and play dead to GT Hawkins. Look at this man fighting strong on the outside.
Right now, though, there goes Hawkins with clearing him up top. He moves to the right in slightly aggressive fashion, I might say, but able to complete that pass. And now here comes the 88 back down to the inside. We focus on this lead battle. We've still got Sean Conqueror trying to figure out a way past Ed Morris, who was able to get his lap back and salvage that strategy call and the poor timed caution for him. But now here comes the 43 on his inside, gets sideways on entry. Those guys might have touched.
Oh, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I just seen a lot of smoke coming off the front of the 43 machine as he tail slaps the 5. There's a lot of hardcore racing going on back here right now. Ed Morris finally going to get his lead, get his lap back. He's currently running in the 6th position right now. The 43 hot on his heels. These guys have been putting on a barn burner right here at the back of the lead lap cars, currently running in 5th and 6th position.
Yeah, Ed Morris trying to keep that 43 behind him. The 43 moves back down to the inside. They're going 3 wide, but the white flag is out. GT Hawkins down the back straightaway, has run an almost picture-perfect race. He hasn't looked back since he took the lead with the exception of the 80H pit strategy, but GT Hawkins, with a phenomenal drive once again, is going to go 3 in a row in the Elite Entertainment ARCA Series for the Extreme Motorsports. Justin Adesagak is second, Randy Kruder in third, Jeremy Horn in fourth, Ed Morris Sr. able to hold on for fifth place, Sean Corcoran rounding out the lead lappers in sixth. Then we've got Clayton Hack, Michael Large, Dean Gagliano, and Bobby Doyen rounding out the cars that finish this race. And well, I tell you what, we're going to watch GT Hawkins burn it down here on the front stretch once again. Everybody else is coming back into the pits, but
oh my, and burn it down he will. Look at that beautiful burnout. He's showing off his skills right now out there for all these fans there at the racetrack and all you guys in the live stream. Not one, not two, but 3 times in a row. GT, the Hawk is boss. You might as well climb on board in the nest with this man because it's going to take something mighty to dethrone this guy before the season's over. He is racking them up and laying the points down on the racetrack week in and week out. Congratulations, GT. That's how you make a bold statement win. But how about your second place finisher tonight? Justin Adesagak, he did not just roll over and give GT the lead there. He made him work for it. And in fact, if you want to get technical, GT kind of howitzered his car right in front of him there, really forced the issue to clear him. Luckily, Justin was able to back off the gas a little bit and not turn the 14. But anyway, started in 16th position tonight, comes up just a little bit short in P2. Hats off to the 88 machine. That was a heck of a drive. Well done. And not bad for Randy Kruder as well. Going to come on the last podium position. Started on the pole, had a little bit of trouble. Way to rebound, comes home position number 3.
yeah, absolutely. We're going to try to get with our winner here, GT Hawkins. This is Matt and Liam up in the booth. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. I tell you what, you put on a phenomenal show. You started 9th. We expected you to qualify a little bit better, but you didn't take long working your way up through the field. And once you got that lead, you didn't look back. What did you have under the hood there? Some rocket fuel or?
No, I qualified terribly. I don't know what I was doing wrong, and all practice I was trying to figure out the right line, and I felt really uncomfortable going into the race. But once we got into race pace and I just felt like I was driving it off the right rear really well. The right front burned up a lot quicker than the right rear, so you had to be careful with, entering too quickly and just trying to save your right front really is what you were trying to do. So once I realized that, just driving it off the right rear, getting it to turn center off.
And a masterful job, and once again, perfection displayed on the racetrack. GT, that run, the start of the race from 9th to 1st, it was like you had 70 horsepower more than everyone else there on the racetrack. Gave the car a couple love taps against the wall. I thought maybe it hurt you, but once again, you proved me wrong. You can't go out there, kiss the wall here at the Rock a bunch of times and still be bad fast. Congratulations on another statement win. 3 in a row. Who do you want to thank?
I got to thank Glory Pole Company, my teammates GT Motorsports, you guys for broadcasting, appreciate you, everybody at Extreme for putting this on, Elite Entertainment, and all my friends and family out there watching. Thanks.
Now, we appreciate you, man, all the great racing you put on display week in and week out. And it takes a lot more than just a driver of that race car. All the men and women behind the scenes supporting GT's initiatives out there on the racetrack. It's a family sport, and I want to thank all of our partners, everyone else that comes out here to make these races, and obviously SRM for giving me the opportunity to be up here, watch GT race, and the rest of these guys that put on one heck of a show right here at the Rock tonight.
All right, that was GT Hawkins. Now we're going to try to get the 88 up in here. Let's try to get Justin up with us. And well, Justin, it's Liam and Matt up in the booth. And first, I got to ask, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I'm pretty sure we butchered it all night.
Anasagog.
Anasagog. Okay, so Matt was correct. I put a J sound at the G. But, no, appreciate that. And, yeah, so Justin Anasagog, second place. And, well, your result doesn't tell the story of your day. Obviously, you started 16th, had a lot to work through, and made some strategy call there on that last caution. Kind of walk us through, first off, I guess the beginning of the race, but I definitely want to hear about your battle there with GT at the end.
Honestly, I thought we were at Vegas. I didn't know where we were at, so but I came here in the trucks in a different league and figured some things out, but I just tried to do a different strategy, and unfortunately that, I think, second to last caution trapped me down 2 laps, and unfortunately got the wave around in a lucky dog, and then I was hoping it would stay green, so I didn't have to highest I could have got is second on that green flag run, but the caution came out and had to restart with GT. He was the fastest car, no doubt, and I'm just glad we raced pretty clean there. I know he scrubbed me a little bit in one, but it didn't do anything to my car, so it was fun, man. I had fun.
I'm going to chime in here real quick.
But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, the masterful job you did of keeping it off the wall where, I mean, you put it nicely. You scrubbed you lightly. I mean, you guys had door-to-door contact going on up there on the top side. I'm sitting there going, uh-oh, it's about to get real interesting. Masterful piece of driving, in my opinion, by you keeping it off the wall. And I know once, you were hard to pass tonight. You look like the old Altel Ryan Newman Dodge out there, just making it difficult for people to pass you. But hey, the strategy worked. Congratulations, man. I mean, you definitely gave Hawkins the biggest fight we've seen all night tonight. But I just wanted to chime in there for a minute because that was a masterful piece of driving there late in the race when you kept it off the wall after you guys were basically tangled up.
Yeah, man. Like I said, when he got into me, it didn't do anything to my car. It looked like it just got close, and it didn't do anything, didn't upset it. And I wish I had the same amount of tires as him. See what happens. But he was just so fast all night. I don't know how he does it, but congratulations to him on the win. What was that? I think 2 in a row.
That's 3
2 in a row now. Three. Jesus.
Yeah, he's doing good.
3 in a row.
He needs more guys like you to get up there and fight him hard in these late laps. But once again, congratulations on your second place finish, your strategy call. Who would you like to thank for such a strong performance here today?
Yeah, everybody racing tonight. It was quite a battle with everybody tonight, and then of course you guys broadcasting. Shout out to you guys and Extreme for setting all these races up.
Now there you go, your second place finisher tonight. The 88 of Justin Adesagok came home P2. Definitely gave T. Hawkins the most fight we've seen tonight. Great heads up, brilliant racing by that gentleman tonight as well. And I believe that means we got one more podium finisher that we get to talk to tonight.
Yes, we do, Matt. We've got Randy Kruder. I believe you're with him.
Randy Kruder and Matt Metler up here in the booth. You got us.
Yes, sir. Got you guys.
You started P1, got the pole tonight. Walk me through the course of that race, specifically the first phase of the race. Did things kind of unfold how you thought they were going to, or did you kind of have to work on some strategy about the first 50 laps of the run?
Yeah, so I probably burnt my stuff up there a little bit too soon, but quite honestly, I thought we'd get a caution in that first tire run. I didn't foresee us going full green flag run, so I was going kind of harder than I would have. Chewed them up a little bit there, and then had some ground to make up after that first pit stop.
Yeah, we didn't anticipate that many 100 laps of caution-free racing either out there on the racetrack tonight, so we were having to kind of go through our notebooks here. We had them burning up at the top trying to figure out the trends of the race. But way to rebound. Obviously, you said you burned them up a little bit, and I probably would have did the same thing too out there on the racetrack. No doubt about it. But you were able to get yourself refocused. You got yourself, just locked into your rhythm out there on the racetrack, and you were there when it counted, and you come home P3 out there on the racetrack tonight. Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I mean, I want to, obviously thank Ed and the Extreme Motorsports series here, and I raced here a couple seasons.
Hey, Matt, I just noticed. Oh, my bad. Never mind. I thought you were in the staging room. I was asking if you wanted to talk, but
No, it's all good.
my bad.
No, you're all right, mate.
And I'm looking, I'm watching my lap times, and I'm like, I'm all right, I'm doing pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm 2/10, 3/10 off of him late in the run. So I noticed he moved up into that really high line after that first run, and right, even on fresh tires, right on the get-go, he was getting up high. So I started following that, and then my lap times weren't as bad, but he's a talent. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I didn't think the top side would be that fast, especially early on. Was that something that kind of caught you by surprise?
Yeah, it really did, because in practice, I felt like it was fast up there, but, just so used to kind of rolling the bottom at this place through the center of the corners. And, but I kind of found something for qualifying there, and it was definitely not around the bottom the whole time. So, caught me off guard a little bit just for the night, but not overall once I kind of ran some practice.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go, guys. Your third place finisher tonight put on one heck of a drive for you. The 80 machine of Randy, am I saying this correctly? Randy Kruder?
Yeah, you got it, man.
Comes home third, wanted a little bit more, but to look for that man to regain the top spot next week. What do you got for him before we let you go?
Where are we next week? It's terrible. I should know, but I don't know. I'm living day to day. I'm running the truck series on Wednesday nights too. We're finishing up an actual season long, following the actual truck season. So I'm focused on getting that one finished out. But yeah, looking forward to it, man. It's a good group of drivers here, and we'll try to throw something at them next week.
We appreciate you coming up
next week. I pull it up here. It looks like Monday, November the 7th is Las Vegas, race number 5. So
awesome. One of my favorite tracks. So let's go.
Yeah, I figured once you figured out it was Vegas, you'd be full send moving on the next week. Look for the 80 machine to be P1 when all said and done's next week. Comes home third tonight. Appreciate you coming up here in the booth, spending some time with us after the race.
Yeah, guys, appreciate you. Broadcast is wonderful you put on, and we'll see you next week.
And that was Randy Kruder rounding out our podium. And, we'll run you through our results, kind of give you our final thoughts on this thing. And there was plenty of action to talk about throughout the course of this thing. GT Hawkins with a dominant win over Justin Anasagak. And Randy Kruder in third place. Jeremy Horn, Ed Morris Sr., Sean Corcoran, Clayton Hack, Michael Large, Dean Gagliano, and Bobby Doyen rounding out our top 10. Then we've got Drew Trader, Wesley Jeanette, Brandon Bass, Adam Capps, James Shainwolf, Michael Thwaites, and Corey Darr. And I have to say, this race delivered in every which way it possibly could. I mean, we were sitting here concerned about strategy throughout the mid part of it. We were talking about cautions breeding cautions, 3-wide action everywhere. These guys are sliding all over the racetrack. I mean, if you're a race fan, there's nothing that this race didn't deliver, and I'm sad that we can't give you like an NFL Sunday ticket 16 screen deal,
Exactly.
a little mosaic to show you everything that's going on in this race, because there was a lot of action that these guys put all on the table.
Yeah, there was so much just unfolding on the racetrack between these drivers, just doing battle on the racetrack. The pit strategy, the late race cautions, the horrific crash that ensued as we were coming to about 10 laps to go. I don't think if there was 6 of us up here in the booth, we would have been able to cover everything that was going on in real time.
No, absolutely. We've got 17 wheelmen out on the racetrack this time at one of the hardest tracks to drive, and it's truly a driver's racetrack. So, once again, excellent drive to GT Hawkins. Dominated this race. He's been dominating most of these short tracks, obviously last week at Milwaukee and then the week before. So, it'll be interesting to see if we get to the big track if GT Hawkins still has the speed that he's had at the smaller tracks. But
I'll tell you, it's hard to believe in the Cup Series we got away from a track like the Rock that just puts on such a great show. But hey, it's okay because I believe it's going to be back in the near future, just like North Wilkesboro. So if you guys watching the live stream tonight, you guys like the product that was put on the racetrack, stick around because I think you're going to start to see more races happen and transpire in here over the course of the next upcoming months right here on SRM.
Absolutely, and I think that's going to about do it for us here. So thanks everybody for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe, hit the like button, hit that bell so you know when we're going live. We've got races almost every night of the week, and we try to keep Saturdays open for one-shots, but we do have an AI series that we try to put out every Saturday as well. So yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. Matt, you got any final thoughts?
I'll tell you what, my mind is scrambled from all that high-octane racing tonight, but nonetheless, this series does not disappoint. Big shout out again to everyone showing their drivers love and support in the YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys remember to like and subscribe, ring that bell. Hope to see you guys with us next time. I'm Matt Metler up here in the booth on the comms. That's my producer tonight. Bring us home, man.
Yeah, let's do it. After a wonderful night of action, that's going to do it here for us at Sim Racing Media. Thanks once again for tuning in on the YouTube. Congrats to GT Hawkins on the win. And yeah, I'd just say try to learn something new every day and have yourself a wonderful night. Be safe. Thanks, guys.